Hi guys, I'm Milad. Welcome to 3D Redbox Studio English podcast, and I appreciate having the opportunity to talk to you today. This is our first English podcast, and I hope the experience will be very useful for you. In this podcast, I would you like speak with my friend Mehdi, who is an art director and texture artist at 3D Redbox Studio. We talk about his skill in creating texture art, and after that, I want to ask him how can I become a texture artist. Okay, Mehdi, how are you? Hi.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video in our channel. And I'm happy to be here today.
I think everyone know you because you are a lot of tutorial in the YouTube channel here,
Yeah.
and you have a lot of experience and share a lot of experience about the as a texture artist.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
Mehdi. Okay, Mehdi. I want to ask you, and I want to start with first question about your background, history, life. What made you want to be texture artist?
Okay, the main reason that I become a texture artist and try to be a texture artist is I had this passion from my childhood. I spent a lot of time in customization section in each game. I mean, when I played Need for Speed, for example, I didn't go to the street and race with others. I just spent a lot of times on the customization and putting different material, decals, and creating different design for each car. So sometimes I use cheats and trainers for making big money in the game, buying each car and putting all the materials and decals on the cars. And yeah, I had this passion. And when I entered to the 3D world, I found out, okay, texturing part is very important, even in the gaming, in the VFX, cinema, and animation. So I try to be a texture artist, work in the material and the texture area because I really like that. And it's very important for any industry. It doesn't matter which industry you choose. And yeah, and I always fascinating by seeing realistic boards with high detail surface. And yeah, this is the main passion and the main reason that I become a texture artist.
About game, I have a question. You told me Need for Speed,
Yeah,
and now you are love God of War and Assassin's Creed, yes?
yeah. I just
Okay,
made
wait,
examples.
wait. After Need for Speed, you won't go to outdoor and ride any
Yeah,
car,
sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
and now you won't kill
Yeah,
anybody in a street.
no. I just like to have the axe, throw it, and coming back, or maybe having a hidden blade is a good idea.
Okay. And
Just for self
okay,
defense.
okay, I can connect this my question to next question. I can connect it together. And can you describe what a typical day look like for a texture artist?
Okay, the typical day for a texture artist, I think it depends on the situation because maybe you work on a project and your responsibility is creating environment. So you need to manage textures and pack the textures and go apply them on the environment. Or maybe you work as a maybe I don't know prop artist or asset artist, maybe character artist or anything else. So it depends on the situation. Yeah. And you need to figure out how to manage the textures, how to control the data on the pixels, and what is the best size, what is the best dimension for each texture, what is the best type, JPEG, PNG, and what is the best bit depth, and how you can transfer data from between softwares and keep the good looking at the end. So yeah, this is the daily basis activity that you should do as a texture artist. And most of the time you create tie level material, tie level textures, or maybe tools for using in other software like Substance Painter, or even painting details and textures on the model. Learning Substance Painter is easier than ever. Hey all Substance lovers, texture seekers, and awesome future artists. Welcome to Ultimate Course for Learning Substance Painter from zero to hero. Ready to learn how to texture with different projects? Substance Master released a brand new course for those who want to learn to texture with Substance Painter. In this course, we cover from preparing the model to rendering different projects, different challenges. If you want to level up your skill in texturing, come and check the Substance Master Ultimate Course for Learning Substance Painter.
Okay, thank you. And we need a lot of skill as 3D, as texture artist. And what skill and qualification do you think are very important for someone in this job?
Okay, I give my opinion regarding to the our area and rules. It's not related to the texture artist only. You should have these skills as an animator, modeler, or even lighting artist or texture artist. You need to have a keen eye. It means you can catch the details from the image or the video that you are going to see as a reference, and you need to understand the details and extract all the information from reference and apply it to the software. So you need to have this eye, and this kind of eye sometimes came with the talent, maybe, and most of the time you need to train your eye to catch these kind of details and understand the details that you see. So this is the first skills that you need to have in every area that you are going to work in the CG world. And after that, you need to have some knowledge of the fundamentals and theories like color harmony, what is the PBR, how it's working, and at the end, I can call software knowledge. So software knowledge is good. We should have that. But the most important part is eye for catching details, fundamentals, and theories like
Eye
color
for catching details, yes.
Yeah, eye for catching details. And after gathering all the information from the reference and the knowledge that you have already, the software knowledge can help you to implementing the data from your mind to the pixels as a texture artist. So yeah, I think this is the most common skill that you need to have in texturing area.
And you told us eye catching detail. It's mean we have to improve eye catching and eye catching detail, because sometimes we don't know and we don't have any knowledge about how can I look into real world. Yes.
No, we can see real words day to day. But for example, when I go out and I have a plan to reach some destination.
Okay.
In the past, in the in the street, when I saw, I don't know, maybe a brick wall or any kind of wall, or in the street, on the ground, you saw something interesting, you can capture the image with your phone and look closer, understanding all the details on the layers and all the logic behind that. So it's very important, and it needs time to work on it. But yeah, you need to train that. You can see the images from internet. It's okay. You can see other work from other artists and compare it to the reference, the main reference, so you can understand that artist, pick which part from the reference and apply it on the work. So yeah, you can understand the details, the information that you can capture from the reference, understanding the layers and the orders of the layers, because it's very important. For example, when you want to create a surface, a wood surface with the color of the with the paint, you need to understand the imperfection on the surface from the wood and the paint is totally different. You cannot apply a generic, for example, scratch on the wood and the paint at the same time, because the reaction of each surface is totally different. And even for the dirt, for example, you need to have different dirt for the wood and different dirt for the paint. So when you capture this information from the reference and you analyze it in the right way, you can apply it in the software very easy. But when you don't that keen eye for catching details, so you cannot replicate this information into the software.
Okay, thank you. And I know you did a lot of projects as texture artist, and can you share some of the hardest projects you have worked on a texture artist?
Okay, whatever you need to do for the first time, it's a
What project it was very challenging for you, and it was very hardest than another project for you?
okay. So all of the projects, they are tough for me at
All
the beginning. Yeah, at the beginning, because
at the
because when
beginning, it mean every project have a different challenging process. Yes.
different way to approaching the result, different way to creating the details, a different way to having the good looking material at the end. So for each project, when you want to start and this is your first time, for example, I didn't make any character project, I mean painting and texturing character face, for example. So if I want to start it right now, it's very challenging for me because it's a first time. Okay, so when I done it for the first time, and for the second time, it's not challenging because I know the path, I know the way. So I just do it. And each time I can add some variation and some making progress inside that. But every project, when you want to do it for the first time, it's tough, it's hard, because you cannot understand what's happening in the next step. You need to find how to reach the next step. So it's hard. And as an artist, you need to add your creativity to the work. So it's a hard part of that.
And I'm very curious about which kind of the project it's very hard? Texture generation, or texturing 3D model?
Okay, it depends on the situation. Both of them can be hard. Both of them can be easy. Yeah. For example, for creating tie-level textures, it's not hard when you want to create common surfaces, for example, brick or concrete or something like that. But when you want to create complex surface with different layers, controlling and balancing data between them, it's kind of hard in the tie-level textures. And when you want to texture on a model or asset, when they are so simple, it's a hard time. Yeah, because you don't have enough detail on the model, so you need to control the balance between the model and the texture at the same time, and it's kind of hard because when you have a solid surface, a big surface area without any detail, everything you add, it could be like not good for that surface. So yeah, it's kind of hard.
Okay, thank you. What do you think about the role of the texture artist in the movie industry or game industry?
Okay, I can tell you that the textures are crucial for each medium. It's not different between movie industry or game industry or even in animation. When you want to reaching a good looking, sometimes we want to reach a realistic look, or sometimes the art style is so different, so we need to achieve some specific art style here. You need to have a good texture, and the good texture between each art style can be defined differently. Okay, so for example, in the game, when you want to create a massive environment, the way you approach to the texture, it's so different compared to the movie industry. Okay, so the textures are very essential for creating games because a huge part of the quality and optimization is on the texture shoulders or material shoulders. It means without them, you cannot create massive environment with, for example, highly detailed surfaces. Okay, or even in movie industry, when you have a huge, a big, giant robotic or mecha, you need to have a good looking, a well balanced texture on it to more believable. When you see that, you need to believe that. Okay, in the movie industry, you need to believe that image that you see because it's a connection
Very
between
beautiful
you and the
word.
image. Yeah. And without a good texture, you cannot understand that giant mecha or giant thing that you are seeing. Okay, so the texture part of each project is very important. As I told you, even in the game, when you want to bring some detail on the surface, you can do it with the model, and it's so expensive, or even you can do it in the material and the textures, and it's so cheap for the performance. Okay? So the textures, they are super crucial for each industry. So yeah, you as a texture artist, you have even environment artists or prop artists, it doesn't matter. Whoever work with the textures, the role is very important.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and thank you for a beautiful word used. There are a lot of computer program for everything, for creating texture art. And which computer program is very to us, and we have to improve our skill for that program.
Okay, if you ask it for the texture artist, for being texture artist, software is not enough, I can tell you. But the question is related to the software, so I'm going to answer that. The Photoshop, before anything, the Photoshop is very crucial, very essential for any artist who works in the CG area. And for the texture artist, the first one is substance designer to creating tile-level material. Okay, when you want to work maybe in a game industry, and you can do all the magic here in the designer. You can create tools. You can create I don't know, tile-level material with all the detail, and you can even optimize your work in the designer with creating some textures and packing different channel into one texture. So you can use designer to do anything.
Okay.
And for 3D model, when you want to paint surface and material on the 3D asset, you can use Substance Painter and Mari. We have more even,
it was my question. It was my next question about what's the difference between Substance Painter and Substance Designer, and I want to ask you told us with the very simple word what's the difference between these softwares.
Okay, for the 3D models, we can use Substance Painter and Mari. And when you want to work in the game industry, you should use Substance Painter. And if you decide to go to the movie industry, you need to learn Mari. Okay, so Mari is a common software in the movie industry, and Substance Painter is more common software is in the game industry. And the main difference between texturing and 3D model and tile-level texture that we create in Substance Designer is we can use the output of the Substance Designer anywhere. Okay. So we can use the output anywhere. And for the 3D model, when we use Substance Painter or Mari, that texture that you create, it's just for that model, and you cannot use it anywhere. Okay,
Is it simple word?
Yeah, it's a simple word.
Is it simple word? Okay.
Let me give you an example.
Another way.
In a Substance Designer, you create a brick texture. Okay, a brick texture, and you can use that brick texture anywhere. I mean, you can use it in this project, next project, or even on the wall, even on the sphere, or anything else. Okay.
Okay.
But when you paint that brick texture on the 3D model wall, okay, you can just only use that texture on that wall, on a specific wall, not on a sphere, not on any other model. Okay, so we create unique texture in Substance Painter and Mari, and it depends on the UV for that model. But when we create a tile-level texture in Substance Designer, you can use it anywhere, any software, any model. So this is a free word.
Thank you. And okay, how do you keep up with change in them?
We need to learn. We need to practice
Every day.
Every day. We need to use new tools. For example, in
What's
our course,
what's the most important resource for improve your skill? What is the most important resource for improve your skill?
reading documents of each software, reading
Uh-huh.
change logs, it's a best way to uh, understand what's happening on the software in newest version. But it's not for any all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to read that, because there are some content creator on YouTube or any other social media that they read that, they create content for that, and they teach us how to use that. Okay, so yeah, and even you can join some master course like us. Yeah, we have a master course
Okay,
for substance painter.
can you more discuss about your master course?
Yeah, if you want to become a texture artist, you can join us in the master course.
Very,
Yeah, we have
very
a
sure.
we have a big course for substance painter and create
Okay.
texture for the assets. Yeah, and more is coming. And more is coming. Yeah, the
Thank
next
you.
one is
It
yeah.
was very short. Okay.
Thank you.
And Mehdi, I know you work at 3D Red Box Studio as 3D
Mhm.
artist and as texture artist and art director. And how do you work with other people like modeler and animator, and when you are a texture artist and when you are an art director?
Okay, so it's a bit challenging sometimes, because you need to find common ground with them. You need to understand what they need and what they want,
Mhm.
because as a texture artist, you are a provider, a party here. I mean, you are the person that make things that they are going to use.
Mhm.
Okay, so you just need to understand them and understand the way that they are doing things. For example, when you work with the modeling artist,
Mhm.
you need to have some basic knowledge of
About
the
the texture.
modeling. No, about the modeling
About
as
the
a
yes,
texture
yes,
artist.
yes.
Yeah,
As a
I'm
texture artist.
I'm speaking in POV of the texture artist. So
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. Okay, I got it.
uh, you need to understand what they can do and what they cannot do. Okay, or even after you, when you deliver your texture, you need to understand. Okay, after me, there are some people working on rendering phase and how rendering works. Okay, because
Mhm.
when you understand how rendering works, it means you can understand how your texture is going to be used in the rendering phase.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and you deliver and provide the best way that you can. So in this way, you can decrease any conflict or any bad situation with other artists.
And
But yeah,
misunderstanding.
it's sometimes challenging, because finding common ground with any person is so hard.
Are you tired?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. I have two or three, maybe four questions.
Mhm.
Uh, when you are designing texturing, how do you balance making things look real with the making them look cool?
Mhm. Okay, it's hard part of the game.
Yes, I
Believe
know.
me,
Yes, I know.
it's the hardest part of the game, because uh, when we are creating different layers, and when we try to balancing these layers together, uh, it's hard to understand what is good, because we focus on the work, and when we see that, we cannot understand what's happening. And our mind can forget about everything, okay? Lost information. And in this situation, if you have a good reference or maybe a reference board for creating material, it can help you and get you in the right path. You know, you go out, come back, look at the reference, look at your work, and yeah, I messed up. I need to change parameters and change layer orders to achieve the best look. So balancing layers or balancing details on the surface, uh, it needs reference. And without reference, you're going outside of the game and play with yourself. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a
Um,
good answer.
Okay. Please tell me generally what's texture artists do, because I know often people have a misunderstanding about the texture artist task, and how would you explain it to them?
Okay, the common
Mehdi, my
mistake is,
camera is here and you are is here. Really, I'm
yeah, it's
confused.
okay, it's okay for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. The common misunderstanding for texturing a position is, do I need to model something? If you are a prop artist, you need to model, and after that, you need to texture that. But if you're a texture artist, you just need to create textures, not anything else. And sometimes we have this kind of responsibility. Okay, we get the model, we create the textures, and we need to go to the engine and create shaders too. But it depends on the rule, responsibility, the project, and etc. And yeah, this is the common misunderstanding. When you are a texture artist, you don't need to model something. You are going to work on other person model. And yeah,
Last question. I
okay.
promise you. What advice would you give to someone who want to be texture artist in movie or game industry?
Okay, the first one is don't focus on the software only. It means you need to work on your eye for catching details and increase your
Improve our
knowledge.
eye.
Yeah,
Yes.
increase your knowledge about the whole process
Uh-huh.
that you are going to work in it. I mean, if you are working in a movie industry, you need to understand what is the steps before you and what is the steps after you. And when you create textures, how they are going to use that, and what is the best format that you can deliver that texture, or even in the game. What is the best way to optimize your texture to use in the game engine? And this is your knowledge. You need to increase it. And for a texture artist, it's good to know about the shaders and how to create material. Maybe in one real-time engine and one in an offline render engine. And you need to understand how to rendering work, how to work with the lights. These are the extra steps, but when you need some work to do and your work is not good, and you know that I'm okay, the texture that I deliver is okay, and the final result is not good, when you can understand the lighting, how it's work, or in the rendering phase or in the shadering, you can go to the other artists that work with you in the project, and you can talk together and fix the issue. But if you don't know anything about any step after or before you, for example, we have this issue a lot. When we work with someone and they create a model for us, and we want to texture on that model, and the result is not good. So for creating best result, you need to have a good model. And if you don't have a good model, don't have a good material on it. So you need to understand the modeling phase and what you can do on that phase and what you can do in the texturing phase. And you combine all this knowledge. Okay, so this is the best way to work with other people and increase your level. And at the end, practice and practice. If you don't practice, if you don't practice, you cannot increase your the level. So it's obvious.
Okay.
And the last quote
last thing, yes.
It's don't be mad or shy when your process doesn't go well, or when you get some negative comments, because sometimes it happens a lot, and you need to start over and look at the first differently. So be an open mind in this area. When you get a comment, you can analyze that. It's a good suggestion or it's a bullshit. So you can skip it or apply it on your work. But be open-minded.
Finish?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for share your experience about your skill, and really your experience, it was very amazing for us.
Thank you.
Especially me. Thank you.
Thank you very
Mehdi.
much.
Thank you, Mehdi. Bye bye.
Bye. Be creative.